make you feel it in your soul.
Got a body so sweet. When you're vibing with me, let's go on a retreat. Somewhere we can just keep the mood on repeat. We can do it low key. We ain't getting no sleep. Girl, we staying up. You whisper like a record, babe.
It's my thing. I'm on my sister thing, so y'all give me a minute. Um, no, I don't want that. I want to switch. Ooh, I can't wait to get mine back. Got my old one getting work. Okay, I got my old one getting work going, and the new one, so we can go ahead and get it started. It's a little slow, y'all. Give me a minute, okay? So, hey, Justin, it's a little slow with my thing. So let me change my background because we got to talk about Belle Collective first, and then we're gonna jump into um, loving doing after lockup. Um, oh, here it is. Here it is. Let me share the link. It's a little slow, y'all. Y'all have to forgive me. I have to get used to hers. Let me share the link out for everybody to come, and we're gonna talk about Bell Collective. Did I put a picture up here? I did not, but I'm gonna put a picture as well while I am here before we get into it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. We getting into it. I did go live on TikTok. It was pretty cool though. Give me a digress. I will be going live on my phone and TikTok. So when we talk about certain topics, like tonight panel, I'm gonna be on both. Hold on, let me add a picture of Bell Collective. Hey Essie, hold on y'all. All right, let's get into it. Let me pull up the ladies. So from what we understood, Justin, it'll be probably hopefully tonight. I'll see. It'll be late though. But so what we're getting into is the mid-season of Bell Collective. When we left off, there was a conversation about Tamara didn't want Shantae to be around, and as we know, Shantae is causing a demise just as well as Amanda caused a demise too, because she was in there talking about well she had to get her lit back, or her friend had to get her lit back. Cool, but you were causing a demise in the group, and she admitted when I said I was on a blog site, and she admitted to Amanda admitted to having her friend Letitia come having her come in to stir the pot because they got into it. Now Letitia's on the okay, so let me give y'all Latrice. I'm sorry, the cast. So Latrice is to your far left. From left to right, we have Marie, Selena, which y'all all know who Selena is from the Dancing Dolls. She was the twins' mom and Sanjay's mom. You have Tamara, who is with the green boats and boots on in the green dress. You have Carrie, and then you have Letitia. Now we're gonna start with Bell Collective, and then we're gonna go on to Love During Lockup, and we're gonna discuss that. Okay, so we went to the continuation of Tamara, right? Walking out, and saying that she had an issue. And Tamara's walking out, and everybody telling, Carrie saying, "No, do." Letitia said, "Don't do that. This time we're gonna do." And Carrie said she's gonna go check on Tamara. So Carrie follows and trails behind Tamara and be like, "Girl, like, what's going on?" She say, Tamara says she refused to argue with somebody that she don't know. Like, she don't know that girl. And Carrie says she's want to be a part of anything, and Tamara says she don't know her, and then she say the fact that you got Latrice not coming, it's a little weird to her. And but she don't need Latrice, but okay. And Carrie asked, could she come inside and talk? And Tamara say, no, it's not her, and she's not, gonna let Shantae take her out that character. And Carrie say, well, just see what she has to say. And Tamara say, no, I don't care what she has to say. She say she will whoop her. She say, don't play with me, girl. I ain't going enough. And Tamara say she tired of all the unnecessary drama. She's tired of the rumors, the lies. She say she's over it. Carrie said she gonna call her. She said, okay. And Tamara say that she don't know. Tamara was like, basically say she don't know if Carrie being naive. Like, what make her think that this gonna get fixed with a conversation? I just told you I'm gonna whoop this girl tail. If we keep on, I will drag that girl out that seat and lose everything I work hard for. That's exactly what Tamara said. Tamara said she will grab Shantae. Like, I will knock that girl down. She said she don't know if she being naive or not. But to think that all of this is going to be fixed and it's going to be worked out is crazy. So, she say, she's just everything not gonna get fixed over wine, food, and drinks. Like, it's not an easy fix like that. And she say it's not for her, and not when you run a game. So Shantae say uh, Selena was saying how she been saying something negative or whatever, because Selena and Shantae are cool as well. So Shantae say, listen, I promise to you, Selena, I ain't never said nothing negative. Selena say, you never said anything negative, because that's kind of strange for her to just walk out like that. She said, no, I never said anything negative. And Selena said they say she was at Taste and saying a lot of negative things about Letitia. And supposedly, about, a lot of negative stuff about Letitia. And Selena said, I don't like that. She say, I don't like that. I don't vibe with that. I don't like that. Letitia, my girl. All these girls, my girls. But I don't like that, because if you notice, she hangs with them a lot. And they also hang with Letitia from Love and Marriage Huntsville. So they do a lot of hanging around together. Can y'all hear me? That's one stop I want to make sure y'all can do. Let me know somebody in the chat if you can hear me. I hope you can. Can y'all hear me? Put a one if you can. Anybody hear me? Let me type it. I just want to know if anybody can hear me. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. So Shantae was like, here is the thing. So she gets into explaining. And she said what she don't play about is her friend, like, she will never sit at Taste and talk about Letitia like that. It's not what she gonna do. She said ever since she started the collective, her and Latrice have been arguing, making up and breaking up. She said, why would I go to Taste talking about her enemy, talking to her enemy about her? Like, I don't even get down like that. And she kind of made sense, because they have been breaking up, making up, breaking up, making up, breaking up, making up, breaking up, making up, breaking up, making up. And it's kind of like, I'm kind of like, well, everybody watching kind of like, girl, like, Like, what we gonna get? So, I mean, it makes sense for her to feel the way she feels. So Letitia said in her confessional, she was like, it hurts her to have to hear that Shantae said something, or they said, or whoever said, she said she could shocked and confused of where this information is coming from because none of it is true. And she brought Shantae around to have her back because she felt like nobody had her back. Now, didn't I not say that when we talked before mid-season? I said nobody's starting to get it. Letitia felt like nobody had her back. Letitia felt like if Latrice can bring Amanda to have her back, and even though Marie trying to stay out in neutral, she understand that, but she needs somebody to have her back to take the full blow. I told y'all that, and that's when I knew because Letitia liked it. Shout out to Letitia. She liked it when I said, y'all ain't paid attention, but she said, I can't carry everybody on my back, but now I'm going to have to make everybody work for it. That's why when I be telling y'all, when y'all watch these franchise reunions, pay attention to what they say. Just like with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Pay attention. Remember how it ended? Shamia and Portia didn't resolve nothing. But Shamia was gonna make her work because she wanna know. Pay attention to their keywords and why people keep bringing up stuff and regurgitating stuff that we think is closed. They're making them work for it. They feel like if I'm carrying it, you gotta work for it. And I heard Letitia say that is reality TV show 101. When y'all be watching these shows and some people say it during the reunion, that is a hint. Next season they finna bring it. That's why I say I be like, no, I believe this and that because I see it like that is a one-on-one thing. So Shantae said, she seen her friend go through a lot. She watched her friend take things that she should not have, and the things that she went through that she wasn't a part of. And she said it hurt after so long. And Carrie said to her, protected Letitia is coming to her saying, just be careful of this, and not blowing things up. And Shantae says she has done that for years. She says she has been at people's defense and everything, and that is true because at the reunion, and Tamara says she didn't meet her. I don't know who behind production, but I'm finna tell you something. 2022 at the reunion, Marie and Letitia and Shantae was there, and she was supporting. She has been in the background. So for Tamara to say she don't know her, I think Tamara saying she don't know her personally, but she has been to events. She has been in the background, and Amanda has been in the background. Y'all got to start paying attention because there's some moving parts to this shit. Like I be paying attention to all, and I was like, who is this behind Tamara? Because I thought it was Tamara friend when they went and had that event in 2024. They showing a clip. They showed a clip of it. And I say, oh, that's Shantae. So now everything is coming, full circle for me. Shantae was there. And when Tamara was talking on the mic, Shantae was sitting next to Letitia in a blind wig. When she was arguing Glenn, even at the women's brunch 2025, Shantae was there. Shantae was on the camera. Shantae say, just because I start saying something, now it's a problem. She say, don't look at it like I haven't been around and been drama. She say, let's be clear. Y'all don't need me to start drama. Y'all have a situation when y'all don't like each other. And everybody just sat there looking like, damn. And Carrie say, I'm with you when you're right. She say one thing she gonna say. She say one thing. She say, when you're wrong, you're wrong. And she was right on that. And Marie said she agreed with her on that stance because they all have their own dishes on each other. And she said they don't need her for that. And, Letitia say she don't want nothing swept under the rug. She say when it's for her and her time, they just have the same round table. They can't pick and choose what Belle they want to protect. And she say, have it been me saying that it is group? She say, I'm just asking, I want you to have a real conversation. Had it been Letitia saying in the group that y'all weren't coming to the give back and all this and that, y'all wouldn't have a round table? And she say no, and they all agreed. They all agreed. So, Letitia say you wouldn't tell me y'all would have. She say, moving forward, you can't pick and choose who you want to bring in the collective. You want me to keep my friend who is outside noise away from the collective, but your friend that's that outside noise can come in and do whatever, they have to be across the board. They have to be together. And she said, is the collective really going to move forward, or they need to have the same energy that they have for Latrice? So they all decided, that was that. They were going to be honest with each other again. And, Salida waved her hand because they said they're getting ready for they getting ready for the bachelorette, the planning her bachelorette party for the wedding. And then we go to the scene where Carrie, Lord have mercy, Jesus, where Carrie is having lunch with Letitia and Marie. Okay, so Carrie decided to bring them for lunch. She decided to bring them lunch about a upcoming event that she was having, and her and Marie get into a disagreement. Now, this isn't the first time that Marie and Carrie got into a disagreement. This probably be the second or third time. Okay, so Carrie is sitting down saying that she have an event, the creative collective. She want to have creative collective. You know, she's good at giving back and stuff, and she says she want to give back to the city of Jackson, and she partnered with I think it's Black Girl Vibes brand, and they agreed for them to choose the top people for their brand ambassadors, brand ambassadorship. And she say out of all the Jackson ladies, and she say she had an influencer event called Creative Collective, and each young lady is going to have a chance to introduce themselves, share their story, and from there they're going to narrow down the top four, and the brand will have the opportunity to pick their ambassador. So she say she would love to give that to somebody. So Marie asked her, was she the only influencer? So from what she said, Latrice and Carrie are doing their event together, and Latrice has a brand. So Marie in the confessional just looking, and and Marie say she has a question. She say, she looked at Letitia. She said, please be quiet, don't cut me off, right? So she says that Letitia invited her to her event, and she's a brand herself. And she says, so you chose Latrice to collaborate with over Letitia, and she brought you into the group. And Letitia about to say something, and Marie said, "Don't say nothing," because Marie said, "Because Letitia gonna butt in," and Letitia is biting her tongue, she perching her lips, trying so hard not to say anything. And every time she say something, Letitia trying to cut in, and Marie say, "Don't say nothing. No, this is a conversation between me and her." And so Carrie say, Teresa and her met up months ago, and they were talking about businesses, and it showed a clip where they went to work out, and she said she talked to Latrice first about doing it, and that's how Latrice became a part of it. And because Latrice said, she up for it, and she don't got no problem. They know how to do business, and she said, "Put you in my world," and they both agreed. And then, Carrie says she's an influencer, which Carrie is, and then she says she wants to be an influencer. So, and she said, that's something that she can help her do. Marie said, but she's not an influencer. Carrie said, well, she in this business. She said, because she owned a restaurant. And Marie said, Letitia has a brand. She has a lot of stuff going on. She said that she does, well, Latrice do own hair products. She does own hair. So, she said, but it's not hair products. It's not hair stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's hair stuff, And Marie said, okay. And then Marie took it to the confession and say, Letitia. So she said, Letitia is the only reason you are here. And then for you to exclude Letitia, I just... She said Carrie know the type of crowd that Letitia pulled at all her events. And so for her to choose Latrice over Letitia, it just doesn't make sense to her. And she said this is where, to all the way back to her luncheon, to where the collective had Latrice's back over everyone else's. And that's what Letitia was saying. The group will have Latrice back, instead of having everybody else's back. And that's what Marie was saying. And that's why she brought Shantae for Tamara to have a conversation. I have to be honest, they're not lying. Because for Tamara to be like, well, where's the trees? I'm gonna leave. I don't want to talk. It's like you got her back more than everybody else in the group. I understand in some situations, but if y'all a group, you're a group. So everybody don't want to go. Like they was just telling people at one point of what it was, and I mean, and it started to feel like people are choosing who they want to protect in the group. And Marie said they don't sit well with her. So Karen said she don't believe that, she don't understand what she's saying. She's saying I'm only supposed to partner with you guys. And Letitia and Marie looking like, what? What you mean only partner with us? Like, we're not saying that. And Karen saying, I mean, I'm supposed to only partner with you guys. And Marie said no. And they say because we have partnered together, which they did. The brunch in Mississippi at Carrie Restaurant. And and Broken Spoons. And they did collab together. So Carrie like, listen, I want to collab with everybody individually in the group because I have collab with Letitia. I want to continue to collab with everyone in the group to get, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see, because I want to see what we can bring. Like, basically, Carrie being an influencer, her thing is, I want to see everybody's strengths. Because if I want to do content and I want to add in strength on what to what, you know what I'm saying? I want to see what everybody know how to do, because I'm going to go out here and tell people, hey, come to such and such. Hey, you got such, like, come on, like, let's be for real. Which I see what she's trying to do, but I think she could have went around it a little bit differently. So, Letitia say she don't care who she partner with. She say, I don't care. That's your business. And then Carrie say, well, Marie, does. And Marie said, I just asked. And she said, that's that part. And Carrie say, I know, but it feels very messy. And Marie said in the confessional, Marie is a key. She say only a high chair would try to defend herself. She said, girl, you have picked a side. You picked Latrice. You chose Latrice over Letitia. And it is what it is. And Marie said she's not trying to be messy. And, Carrie said, you are trying to be messy. And Marie said, no, I'm not. And Letitia said, well, she's just trying to get clarification. And, and she just trying to get an understanding. She said, this is the y'all. This is the y'all. So Marie said, I don't move like that. Carrie said, that's a damn lie. Marie said, how am I? She said, but okay. And she said, she took at Letitia and said, you gonna learn. Marie looked at Letitia and said, you gonna learn from bringing people in this group. And Carrie was like, wait, what? And Marie said, this girl don't surprise me. She's been shady from the jump. And to disrupt the collective at this point. Because they feel like some of the things that Carrie has said about Jackson, Mississippi being ratchet and all of that, she calling it ratchet. Talking about Selena and her fiance, bringing it to her attention, about people having conversations and everything else. And who said what about husband. It's a lot of that. And so Marie said Latrice and her were talking, and she said Carrie told her that you heard what I said to Selena at your birthday party. And Letitia said, oh. And she said, I told her I didn't hear nothing different. And Marie said, that is not what you initially said. And Carrie said she brought it to the collective, and she sat there and called Selena and said what she heard. And she said, and Marie said she talking all around in circles. And Carrie said, no, I'm talking very clearly. And Marie said, you a lie, and what you saying? And she said, I wouldn't even write that. That don't make sense. She saying you brought it and to the to Selena. And Marie said, and what? She said, so what are you saying? What are you trying to say? And Carrie said, it's terrible. It's tacky. And Marie said, let me tell you, so Marie done switched from trying to be nice. Marie say, "Let me tell you one goddamn thing." I say, "Oh, when Marie pop out, if you have not been watching the first season, every time you hear Marie say, 'Let me tell you one goddamn thing,' Marie is finna go in. You might as well sit there and chill and relax, because that's just what she do. That's just being honest." So Marie and Carrie say, and she say, "You pissing me off right now with all this lying. What you doing? People get locked up for the lies that you telling right now, cause you about to piss me off." And Carrie like, "Really? I'm lying. I'm lying." And then Marie say, "You tell me what you heard." And Carrie said, "This is so ratchet. I should have worn my t-shirt. Ratchet." And so she put her hands at Marie and said, "Ratchet. I should have worn my t-shirt." She said, "You tell me what you heard then. You tell me exactly what you heard." And so Marie said, "She is her." And Letitia said, "Can we move on?" And Marie said, "We can't." She said, "Next." And Marie said, and Carrie said, "Are you coming to my event though?" And she said she'll be there. And they gave each other a high five. I need to know Carrie's sign. I know Marie is a Pisces, but what is Carrie's sign? Because Carrie, like, girl, anyway, is you coming or not? Like, okay, girl, cool. You feel like I'm lying, whatever. So, is you coming to the event or not, girl? You gonna be there on time? Marie was like, "I am." Like, girl, we can set this at the reunion. Girl, I ain't gonna do all that. Was you coming or not? So we can help these people out, girl. We can talk about this at the reunion. I don't give a damn. Okay, you feel that way? Great. So what time shall this some crazy ass shit? Like, they have a hate love relationship. It's not really a hate. It's like, girl, some of the things they have a girl, we cool, but you irk the fuck out of me. But we cool, but you be irking me. Relationship, like, they call each other out and then they be like, "Okay, cool. You said what you had to say. That's how you feel? That's how I feel. Okay, great. Let's move on." And it's like, what just happened? Like, in 2.5 seconds. Okay, girl. Well, anyway, like, they're like, if the all right, well, I said, okay, all right. So anywho, and it's done. So Marie says she feels like even though they got into an argument, she says she's always in support of the collective, and she says it's something positive. She's going to show up. So then Selena, Tamara, and Latrice are meeting up for lunch. So you have Carrie, you have Marie and Letitia going to lunch. Now you have Tamara, Selena, and Latrice. So everybody have a little lunch scene about the fiasco. And Latrice, they all meet up, I think, at Latrice's restaurant or another restaurant. Um, you know, they go and Latrice is getting the tea on Tamara and Selena. About what happened from Tamara and Selena about what happened at the sit down because Latrice was not there. So I'm sorry, Tamara asked her, do she want to take a sip of her drink? So because what she got to say is a lot. And, Latrice said that Tamara was blowing her up like she was the police to pull up. And so Tamara said, "You want to take a sip of your drink because you're going to need it for this conversation." And so she said, "Yeah." She said, "You missed the event and everything happened." And, Latrice she said that if the Shantae girl comes, she will not be there. And she wasn't going to come. That's what she told Marie at the strip club. And Marie knew that Latrice wasn't coming. But she didn't tell nobody that Latrice wasn't coming until they got there. She said she won't be able to come. But they didn't know that Shantae was coming. So she said, Latrice said she'll pray about it. Her prayers was answered, and God woke her up and said no. And Tamara said, "If I really knew that you weren't going to be there, Oh my goodness, girl. And so they said how she walked out. She say that I walked out. She say that she said that it got heated and she walked out. And Tamara, I'm reading the comments because I am watching and talking to y'all. Tamara, child, Tamara talking about she miss so Gucci them and all of this and that she love to throw back. I think Tamara is proud of herself that she went off. Tamara, you can go off sometimes. You ain't gotta be so cookie cutter. You really don't. I don't know why you do. We all know who you is, girl. We know who you work with. I don't think your boss would care. I don't think your boss would care, Mr. Ricky Smile. I don't really don't think, as long as you don't get into nothing physical. Portia was going off and still on Real Housewives of Atlanta and still at the dish like so so they had the conversation about that. And then they were breaking down how Tamara was like, you know what, listen, I'm from the West Side. And then Tamara was talking West Side and doing all of this and showing that she can get loud, bang her hand on the table. It is what it is. Like, what's up? What you want to do? Tell like she's that one of them. So, so Selena said she got the opportunity to see it in person, how Tamara get down. Because Tamara usually be, oh, I'm not going to do that. I think Tamara check us at first season. Tamara used to first and second and third season. Tamara used to be like, give it to him. But then people in the comments, oh, she need to act like that. Just shut the hell up. Everybody got emotions. Okay, everybody got to act perfect on TV. They got emotions. Shut up. If she don't like somebody, piss it off. Let it piss off. Don't hit each other. Shut up. So Tamara said it was supposed to be about the Bells and not as a collective and not the outside. She said, if you're already talking about outside noise and bringing outside noise, let it be outside noise. But Latrice asks why Shantae is around. With Latrice, I'm going to tell you, you had Amanda around being messy as hell. And it caused a confusion between your husband, you, Letitia, and Glenn. Yes, we know Glenn is a motherfucking cheater. But who the hell asked Amanda to bring her ass up here and be messy? Then you and Letitia, you knew you and Letitia was in a good spot. But all of a sudden you got Amanda wanted, girl, yeah, he was in my DM, girl. When we all heard about her ex-wife was cheating, because I was like, Amanda, this sounds familiar. Amanda was with that big old mess that was going on. It was a lesbian couple. They were married and they got viral because all this cheating scandal. Yeah, that's Amanda. Yeah, she was the wife to the That's why, and she say in the collective that she's such a non-factor. But that's how everybody felt with Amanda, and everybody. I was looking at the comments, and that's what I was looking at, and everybody was saying when nobody said ish when Amanda pulled that BS last season, and everybody was like, everybody was saying the same thing. Y'all didn't say nothing when y'all had Amanda come in. Y'all was laughing. Y'all thought it was funny for what she did, but Latrice, I have said this, and I've said this on Borrow. Shout out to Borrow Chat. I said this in their comments, and a lot of the women from Belle Collective liked that saw it, liked it. When I said Letitia brought Shantae the same way Latrice brought Amanda for a get back for her friend, that opened the door for Letitia to bring Shantae. Yeah, she's been on the outside with all the friends, but they have rallied to bring her in. So Latrice said that she's starting the most issue, and Tamara says now Latrice start, saying that Shantae is starting the issue, and Tamara saying she's starting to look at her funny now because maybe you guys are using and baiting and switching and back. Maybe you're used to chaos. She said you do it, but Tamara, you have all this energy, but you didn't have this energy last year. Like, it's crazy. And I agree with that. And it's all the up and down chaos. And she said, Letitia, you don't know how to be a friend because you used to being a friend. And they're saying you proud of your friends and you really not. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Letitia was routing for y'all, but when none of y'all stood up for her against Latrice, when a man, especially Amanda and Tamara, you was seen on camera at that hair salon. Ain't got nothing to do with it, but you were laughing. That was a problem for her. You didn't say, you know what, y'all? We ain't gonna talk about that. Come on now. Let's not do that. And she said, oh, this some tea. Oh, girl, what's tea? You thought it was funny. It was funny. Now Latrice is my Libra sis, but I gotta call her when she wrong. But Tamara, you thought it was funny. And then she said, Tamara said at lunch, she said the truth wasn't there. Latrice wasn't there, so that's why she said she was proud that of Latrice not coming in that moment because she wasn't there, and she wasn't there to speak her side. And Tamara said she don't feel like being there, and she left. And Latrice said, "Thank you, friend. Thank you for standing up for me." And that is exactly what Letitia's talking about. About that is exactly what Letitia's talking about. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, well, she's not here. I'm gonna stick up for her. That's what they're talking about. When Marie said, "Wait a minute, why? Come on now." That's exactly what they're talking about. That's it. And so Latrice said, "Thank you for standing beside me." And Tamara said, "You always checked on me after the pregnancy, after I was dealing with stuff and had been in the hospital. You the only Belle that called and checked on me every day." And she said she appreciate her for that. And they told each other thank you. Selena said, "I checked on you," but dang, from what Tamara said, "Damn, I guess I didn't." And she started to fake tears. She said, "I love you too, friend." And Tamara said she grateful for Latrice and Selena. And she said, especially Latrice. She said because she has shown up for her even when she didn't have a reason to. She has showed up for her. She appreciate her. Which I understand they built something outside of the collective, but at the same time, Tamara, if you want it to be all the collective, you got to stick up for everybody and call them out when they're wrong instead of just picking one side. Because Latrice was wrong for bringing Amanda. And I love all these ladies. Latrice was wrong for that shit. And I'm going to be honest, because she was messy as hell. She was messy. And Latrice says she think about when it comes to so many different things. Tamara going through things. She was pregnant. And, she appreciate her for standing by her. And Latrice say Tamara is the definition of a real friend. And she know her for years, even before there was a collective. She say Tamara is really loyal. And that's just something that the collective need to embody and implement. And she said Tamara is an example of what a collective should be. And Selena say, so what y'all think that we got to do to move forward? And Tamara said, Letitia said that she is okay with not being, how to not have all it around and respect the collective and have to be strong. And they say they very shaky, and I agree. And they trying to get back to sisterhood, and it's like, Letitia was like, if Shantae wasn't around, she'd be okay with that. And they all agree they trying to get to sisterhood, and they don't need outside noise right now, unless it don't is not one of us. That's what it was, and that's what make it stronger than what it was before. But why you didn't tell Latrice that last year when she tried to bring Amanda? Now that's my question. And then we get to Carrie to talk to Latrice. So Carrie met Latrice up at her salon, and she finally got to sit down in her office and have a conversation with her. And how she said, "I finally get to come in here, and I can come see you." And then Latrice said, "I've been to the brick." She said, "You have, when I have invited you." That's what Carrie said. And Latrice started laughing. She said, "You need me? I'm here." So she asked her what's been going on. And Carrie said they got to get the event situated. And they've been sitting there waiting, And she said, "We're going to get everything with, the event. We're going to get a charcuterie board and stuff like that together and champagne. And she said, you got the food. She got all the other stuff, the influencers and food. And she said it's gonna be a good event. And she said for them to vibe together is such a good thing. And Carrie said one of her main objectives is to give back. She has so many people who have pulled her up and mentored her throughout the years and partnered partnering part I've been talking all day. Partnering with Black Girl Vitamins it's a huge deal for her. And for somebody to see the ambassadorship and it could change the trajectory of their whole career as a creator and to be able to have that opportunity to present to them is everything. So Carrie said we need to talk business, but it's like I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little and fragile after talking to Letitia and Marie about this event. And Latrice was like, "About this event? What about it?" And they were questioning me on why I'm having an event with you. And Latrice said, "What?" And Carrie was like, and I'm like, and Latrice said, "I want to know what this conversation." And she said, "Girl," she said it was terrible. It was high school, and she was like, "You're having an event with trees, and you're basically effing over Letitia." And Carrie said, "How?" And Letitia stood on her ground of saying that's the Maria opinion of hers about how she feel about it. And her look was like, and Latrice said, as a collective, it's not what the collective's supposed to be about. And the sisterhood and Carrie said, right, it's coming together, supporting each other. And Carrie said they shouldn't even been asked. And that's out of pocket. And she said, am I going to ask why you doing something with her? And, Carrie said the whole situation of questioning of her loyalty, it just feels stale. Like it's a cattiness from Marie and it's disappointing and she's not with the childishness of it. And she said she really hopes she do better. And Carrie said she don't know that the mental acrobatics. She said she can't do it. She can't do it. No, 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 Carrie. Stop. Because you were sitting here, child, y'all were talking like hot friends that if one person do wrong, girl ain't do that. Y'all both do the same thing. Okay, well, oh, well, okay then. So, nonchalant about stuff. Y'all do that. That's why y'all don't get along. So she said she got a lot of stuff going down in her personal life, the restaurant, and she don't know if the restaurant gonna sell or close. She say, honestly, if somebody questioning me being a friend to them, now I'm questioning anybody that's a friend to me. When I got real stuff going on, and she say just not, and she say now is not the time. And Latrice said she get it. We have a lot of stuff going on. A restaurant itself, and Carrie say it's a lot running a restaurant. It really is. And people say that it's a lot, and people don't understand. Like honestly, Carrie say her as an influencer, that's her bread and butter. But anybody coming from what she doing as an influencer, get from by her with that, which she is an influencer. I know her and Fumi are two influencers that were doing their thing because that was their bread and butter on social media. That's what they do. And I that's why I say she look familiar. I know I've seen her. She does have social media pages that she has taken off. This she's been doing this for a very long time. And she was saying she don't want to get the bass in her voice because she don't play about her influence and stuff. And Latrice say everything is going on in the collective. It's like it's really high schoolish and it take her back to high school because like you said, she said I want to be there, but she got so much going on with the stuff with the city when it comes to taste. And she said she has so much stuff that she's dealing with. And she said she don't have time to indulge in that small little minded drama and the way they see it. And it's small compared to what they got going on. And the tree say all this drama with her collaborating with Carrie can't get in the way of them hosting a great event. And if she said Marie got something to say about it, she know exactly where she at. And she said she don't know when it comes to the collective, like if they would ever get it together because it's always seemed like it's one thing after the next. And Carrie said they got to grow up, and they said we got to come together some kind of way. And Latrice said maybe this event will be what everybody needs. So Latrice like we got to come together some kind of way, y'all. Like we can't just keep going through this. And I mean that's true. So they all agreed to a great event, and in a collaboration. So as the event happened at night, Carrie get questioned, right? So Carrie asked what you think about the event. So Marie said she didn't understand, and she called it flawed. And Carrie said, Marie, you calling my job flawed? She said, it's entertainment. She said, yeah, with scrambled up words on the screen, and they started laughing. Carrie said the event was an absolute success. You could tell by everybody's faces that she put time and attention into it and effort. And she said, haters gonna hate. So she called Marie a hater. She said, haters gonna hate. And she said, at the end of the day, we gonna celebrate. Now Latrice said, what I am gonna say is Riri, because I thought we were good. And Marie looking like, what you mean? And so Latrice, now this is where it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go a little left. And she said Carrie was talking to her about that they had an issue with her co-hosting with her. She was like, why do they have an issue? And she said, wait, it was mainly Marie. And Letitia was like, yeah, there was a problem. And, like shaking her head. And then Carrie said, wait, it was mainly Marie. And she said, you did say Tisha had a little, Letitia said, she said, you did say Letitia had a, and she said, Tisha had what? So Tisha looked at her like, girl, what? And Carrie say, what I said was you had a look, and a little look. She said, what look? And she said, Carrie say it's very obvious that some of these Bells walked in with their mouth stuck out and their daggers out. And Tisha got the nerve to ask her what look. She said the same one you've been giving me all night, the stank face. And then Marie looked at Carrie and said, you told Latrice that I had a problem with her and that wasn't what that was. She said, I did feel like you were trying to divide the group to take a step back when we're all moving forward. And Carrie said, no. She said, no, I'm not trying to divide the group. She said, but what you did at lunch was bringing me back to high school. And Marie said, I asked you a question. And Carrie said, that was some old high school mess. And then Letitia said, Marie was coming from a loyalty standpoint where she made it very clear that she don't care if she hosts with the Flintstones. She said she don't care. She said for her, it's collaboration and competition. Is congratulations to what they're doing. And Latrice says she feel like Marie has said it. There's a wall of it and Carrie is a back peddler. Now, after all of that, Latrice is talking about Carrie being a black backpedaler. I'm sorry, backpedaling on what she said. Now, y'all just host this group together. And now you're calling her a backpedal. See what I'm... Girl. So Carrie say, talking in line is a different thing. She say, hold on. She say, She say, now you taking me to there. And Marie say, see, and this is what we saying. And she say, Marie, you still taking me through the same thing over and over. And Marie say, what have I said? She say, because you still trying to put that label on top and she said, of lying. And she say, she never told anything that was of false. She said, I never said anything of false. And Carrie said, here's the thing. She said, she been nice, composed, profession all night. And she said, now that these Bells are trying to label her as a flip-flopper and a liar, which come with her with some vocabulary that she can understand. She said, because what you're saying make no sense. And Letitia said, this the whole situation that's happening. We're going to move as a collective. We're going to move as a collective in these outside conversations. She said that's what's dividing collective, and that's true, the outside conversations. And Kara said, "Well, how y'all mad at me?" And Marie looking like, "What?" And Marie said, "All Carrie does is flip flop all over the place." And Tamara said she don't necessarily think that Carrie lies, but maybe she miscommunicating the message. And Letitia saying her biggest issue with Carrie is not owning everything. When stories change from one moment to the next, her thing is own it. Like, nah, that's not what I said. This is what I said. Like, no, I ain't gonna like own it. Be like, okay, nah, that's not what I said. What I said, like she did. She did. She said what I said was. And that's what I mean. Because I feel like Letitia gave me a little stank face. And that's what came to me in my present in my mind. That you had a little problem. So I just was like, well, damn, she cool, she right. We got a little problem. Like, what's the what's going on? That's it. So I thought, girl, we was a little issue. Is there an issue? Like, what's going on, girl? Sometimes you gotta be that way. I don't think Carrie can't do it. I think she try to be nice and sweet. But girl, you gonna have to talk to me like, listen, well, is it an issue? Like, what's tea? Because I thought, like, what's going on? No, it ain't like that. If it was like that, I wouldn't have invited y'all out. I wouldn't invite everybody. I wouldn't invite y'all to come on in. But I just felt like that's good. I'm trying to work with everybody in the group and see what everybody could bring, and then we can figure it out from there. Because everybody got their strength. You know what I'm saying? But she say from the next, it leaves the group feeling uneasy and confused. And Selena says she agreed with the ladies. And shout out to Selena with that confessional look with that blonde short wig cut and that platinum. She looked cute. She said she agreed with the ladies. She said Carrie say one thing and Carrie say another. She say flip flopping all over the collective. And Carrie said she don't want the collective to be hurt from day one. She never came with any malice in the group. And Marie, no, I haven't. And she say, Marie, I might call you out. And Marie is sitting here turning her head laughing. She said, we might call you out in a little play, but I haven't done anything. So everybody chiming in with how they felt. And she said she went bringing the collective together. And they talking about Marie and all of that. And Tamara said, you did great. You did good. You did good, girl. And Latrice said, thank you for inviting me to co-host. And Carrie said, despite the little moment of hate and a little shade, some ladies tried to sprinkle over her event. It never rains on the Carrie Paul parade. And she said at this point, she's sick of it. Make it make sense, Marie. Misunderstanding her. She said she ain't even going to say she got to keep her eye on Marie, but she ain't saying to evident that she ain't going to keep her. Meaning, I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm not going to tell you I'm not keeping my eye on her and her bullshit. That's what she's trying to say. Like, I'm paying attention. I see the shade. I see you keep trying to do all of that, girl. I'm looking at you just like you looking at me. We see each other. That's exactly what she said. And she said she not about to turn her behavior and it's deplorable. And so, it's Latrice said it's all about talking it out. And Carrie say, on that note, ladies, thank you for coming. Have a nice night. So we will see what happened in this season. Marie is outside, child, having her grand on time. She focusing on her. And then Selena is picking out her dress. And she has a lot of things she has not done for the wedding. Latrice don't have a venue. Say she don't got a venue or a caterer. She said she don't know if it's going to be all right. Then we see Carrie and her husband, mama, get into it. Say she gonna respect her, and then you see Carrie, mama, smiling like, "Oh hell no!" And then we see Cliff and Latrice getting into an argument, and then we see Letitia and Glenn talk about if they're going to stay together or not. And I think Glenn is doing that to get his lick back, y'all. I don't give a damn what y'all say. This is his lick back for the fact is that he feel like Latrice is giving him an ultimatum, and Latrice is letting him know exactly why, and him putting the work in because he thought it was gonna be an easy peasy, and she said no. Hold on, y'all. We finna go to the jail people and check up on their relationship after they got released. We gotta go check up on some inmates in the prison that came out the prison. We need to let them know what time that curfew gonna be. We need to let hold on, let me charge up my what you call it. What time the curfew gonna be? What time they got to be in the home. We gotta go check out who they living with, who they gonna be staying with. Sent to send some on parole. So we gotta go check in. We gotta make sure everything all right over there. We gotta go check in on the ladies. So as we're doing that, I'm gonna change my background. Let me take that down. Let me scroll. Ooh, excuse me. Give me a minute, guys. It's a little slow. I ain't click on that picture, but whatever. All right. Do I got my police sound? I don't think I do. Anywho, we're not gonna start off with them. That's not who we starting off with. Before we start, get your drinks, your popcorn, and your snacks. Because this is gonna be a long, bumpy ride, okay? So sit down, relax, take your shoes off, make sure you cool. We finna talk about it. Hold on. Cause they don't leave my auntie alone. Let me go tell this girl to go get her man if that's the case. Go get your man, girl. Cause he locked up. Okay. Okay, so now we start off with the number one trio, okay? And that is, I told y'all they're gonna have the number one spot of the start offs because their story is interesting. I feel like these three have brought a lot of social media attention and things like that. So I already know their story gonna be a little more bigger than everybody else. I gave y'all my rating, who gonna be in place with the mess, and I told y'all they gonna be number one. We already know that Rich and Felicia gonna be the toss up of it because they gonna have some too. Like the rest of them, they all got messy storylines, but some are topping the others, and they're one of them. All right, so let's get into it. So, but God is talking to her friend Michelle and Benito is talk to her stepfather Charles and Damon's mother Lakia. So we open up and Goddess is looking through her clothes, trying to figure out what to find to wear. Her friend Michelle came in and said, "Hey," and she said, "Hey girl, where you at?" So she go upstairs with the dog as the dog is greeting her in, girl. And her friend got stuff for shots and wine, and she gave her friend a hug, and she said she need help. And Goddess said she don't know what to wear. And she say, "You ready?" She say, "Hopefully she'll be picking up Demar tomorrow, her man," and she still can't believe it. She's just want to wear something comfortable, but not too she want to be comfortable or cute. But her friend say you need to look good, and Goddess say she just want to do everything with him. Ooh, I don't know how to feel, girl. Good luck, girl. Good luck. So Goddess say she want to wear this cute black dress and with a bra and a thong under it. And her friend say she liked the idea. And then you had some relations, and she said she know for a fact that Damon is gonna be a minute man because he been gone too long. But she told him he only got a couple passes because she ain't got time for that ish, girl. Well, and she said she pick him up tomorrow, and she said what her account balance say. So she said 11 hours, 16 minutes, and 20 seconds until her man home. And she say 11 hours is crazy. So then we go on the side at Benita's house. So Benita's at home, and she see her granddad, her dad come in, her stepdad, and her daughter gives her granddad a hug. And she's standing there, just looking. Now, y'all know Damar mama is not going to tell everything, right? Y'all know Damar mama is going to be on Damar's side. Does she agree to what he's doing? No. But is she finna run her mouth? Hell no. That lady ain't finna run her darn mouth. Hold on, let me fix this. I'm giving it a minute, y'all. I want y'all to be able to see me as well. Why is it not doing it? Is it no? Hold on. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's a setup. I don't know. I don't know. I missed mine. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause it didn't show like this. Anywho, back to it. Um, I'm gonna get my stuff back. I'm gonna get my baby. So and we see that, she walks in, the stepdad walks in, and Damon's stepdad, I'm sorry, Damon's stepfather and Damon's mom come to Bonita's house. And so she said they were on the way to Bonita's house. They can't wait for Damon to get home. And she said they get home tomorrow and she'll be enjoying him. But she said she does feel guilty as a woman because she's not telling Bonita the truth and he wants her to lie so he can spend time with Gigi. And she says she don't want to get in nobody else's business. And she says she just gonna be cordial. And after tomorrow, if he needs, well, she's gonna ask Damon if he needs her assistance, and that's what it is. But if it ain't, if he don't, then And then they asked how she been doing. She said she been okay, trying to beat up for Damon. And he said he actually on his way. She said, how many times have we had this full circle moments together? That's what Bonita said. And she said, they broke the chain this time. And, she got faith in him that he gonna do right this time. And Damon said his mother knows what to say and what not to say. And not a rehearsed thing, but they talk about things on the regular. He said she don't got no bad intentions to go and help and figure his ish out. He said that's all she be wanting. And his stepfather said, I'm gonna tell you something. I think that on this go round, he ready. And then he started calling. And then she said she excited and she's scared because she really wish she had a remote to face 4 times so she could be outside the jail waiting for him. I can't wait till they show what happened on Tuesday, bro. This is why I want to see if he can pull this shit off. Like, is you gonna be able to pull this shit off? Cause you talking about you gonna go back in your jail, bro. Oh my God, Bonita, I know Bonita went live last night. Oh, and I don't miss it. I'm gonna start checking out live. I know she had a lot to say. So while the parents, his mom and stepmom is there, and he calls and she said, she's sitting there with his stepdad and mom, and she said, hey, how are you? And she gave him the phone. He said it don't even seem real. They real on telling him, come on, it's time to go. He said the doors open up. And he said, his stepdad said the thing that's going to always resonate with you, the things that the bar is going to shut. So then they go to Gigi house and her friend asked what she cooking for his first day. She said he wanted lamb chops, asparagus, and some Henny. What the hell he doing with their Atlanta combo? Where you been to Atlanta, Demond? Mumu, what you done had some hookah, lamb chops, lemon pepper, lamb chops, and Hennessy. Where your ass went to Atlanta? Who do you know? That's an Atlanta meal, really. That's a bougie strip club Atlanta meal. It ain't just the chicken wings. It's the lamb chops, too, and the hookah. And so, her friend asked, Gigi friend said, you think his baby mama going to be cooking for him or somebody else? And Gigi said she going to kick his tail. And he said it's only a matter of time before they find out what's going on. He said he planned on being in a poly relationship. His poly relationship consists of Bonita and Gigi and him, just them three. He don't want nobody else. He feel like it'll be better for him to be in a poly relationship with Bonita and Gigi because that's who he really got feelings for. He Chris Brown Jr. over here. Remember Chris Brown saying, I'm really in love with Karuchi and I'm really in love with Rihanna. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So he Chris Browning out here. Mm-hmm. And he said he hoped that they're with it. And he say he's daddy and he gonna lock them all in. He said because they trying to make daddy happy. But what about theirs? And then, now this is where it get messy. So Gigi say, well, what I'm gonna do if he do anything? The friend say, girl, share locations. He didn't think about that. He been in prison, been in jail for 13. He didn't think about that. And she said, we trust each other. Why do we have to do that? That's what Gigi said. And Michelle said, confirm reassurance. Shout out to Gigi friend. Her hair is laid, honey. And Gigi said she don't know. And she know her man coming home. And she said she finna be on top of the table. And how she gonna be? And she said, out your back. She said, wait, out your back. And then Gigi jumped down. She said, Auntie out of breath. And then he had 60 seconds remaining to talk to everybody. He said they're gonna release him between 1 and 3 on Tuesday. And he want to make sure Benita, he want to make sure Benita come with transportation to be able to come. So he said gonna pick her up for real. And then the stepdaddy said he gonna make sure that's happening. What is killing me and frying me is that they are in on this shit with this man. They are in on Benita picking Mumu up from them at 2 and 3 o'clock. Between 1 and 3. And they in on this. This shit is wild. So the stepdaddy said he gonna make sure. And they say they can't wait to see him and see the next chapter. And they ready to see the next chapter and they believe in him. And they say they definitely believe in him. Oh my God. And the look on his mama face like, okay. She not saying nothing. She just looking and blinking her eyes. And listening, oh my goodness, if I had an alcohol beverage, a shot bottle for, I'd give her like 4 of them if I knew it, because I know it's a lot. I know she like, oh girl, you don't know, girl, I don't know. And then the phone hung up. And so the producer asked, what it's been like for you guys to have to hold this secret? And the stepdad said, truthfully, it bothers him, but for the sake of peace, they have to be silent and cordial. And once he get home, he's on his own. And the mama said, yeah. So they all dancing, talking about he coming home. So then we go to Felicia get released from prison. Her auntie and cousin done jumped over the pedal, child, and ran up to Felicia, grabbing her so hard, so happy to see her. Because as you know, oh, wait, hold on. Felicia couldn't see her family. Felicia couldn't see nobody. Felicia couldn't get visitation. Felicia couldn't get none of that. Like, she couldn't see nobody. Hey, Terry, Felicia couldn't get none of that stuff, right? So, Felicia seeing her family. Rich said he loved that her family, is loving on her and welcoming her with open arms. He said he waited 6 years to see her. And he said her family has been waiting longer. And he's in the joyous moment of this. And thank you, Terry. I don't know why I forgot to put my copyright up. So she gave the mama them a hug first. And then she gave she finally free after 9 years. She gave her dad a hug. She was in there for 9 years since she was 17 years old. Right? Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all, my bad. Thank you, Tara, for that. I don't forgot. Thank you. And she said to finally be free after 9 years. It's too good to be true. Like, it don't feel like it's real. And, she gave her dad a hug and said she loved him. She said the single thing she missed the most is spending time with her family. And she said that's what she missed the most. She said her mother and father, couldn't see her because they had warrants. And she said everything was virtual. So now, she want to hug on her mama now that she out. and she just hugging so tight on her mama, and then everybody started crying. She just hugging them so tight, and her mama crying, say she miss her so much, and she said they fought for so long, and the daddy say it was a fight to try to get her home to get to this point. That girl was in there for 9 years. She got caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time and had to spend 10 years in her offense. She say, "Who does that?" He said, "Who does that? No judge does that. Not to a 17-year-old." I want to know what she did. That's what I want to know. What all entail? They said R robbery, but god dang. And Felicia said she been in trouble since she was born. She said if she was a vegetable, she'll be a red pepper. She said she got so much spice. She said she been spicy since she was born. She said since she was younger, she just in elementary school she would throw fits. She'll throw fits. Like this is what she did. And everybody crying and it's tears. And her auntie just crying. She said growing up in New Orleans, she said got people to, went into the cries and the nightlife. And 9 years ago, she was 17 when she was caught with an armed robbery charge with a pew. And she said that the police said that the person that got unalive was somebody she went to school with, and said that he stated that she was the one that set him up and called him. And in the state of Louisiana, if you're 17 and you're considered a adult, and she said if she would have took it to trial, she would have gotten anytime between 10 to 99 itself. Hey sis, and she said she gonna take her 10 years and move forward. Now I'm glad that she said that because I have been talking about the Carmelo trial. The only thing difference with Louisiana is they couldn't charge Carmelo because he was 17, but now that he is 18, they're trying to charge him with M1, which is 5 to 99 years. So I've been talking about that and going over that. Tomorrow I'm gonna read the Reddit to y'all. I'm gonna pull up with some transcripts and we're gonna read them tomorrow. And I'll probably be live as well on my phone on TikTok. So we'll be going through that tomorrow because it's very telling. And also when we talk about Carmelo case tomorrow, the witnesses told on themselves today. But let's get back to the show. So she was just like, moving forward, that's what she was gonna do. So she walked over to Rich. He said moment of truth, and she gave him a hug. She held him tight, and he was holding her tight like he'll never let go. So now they just hugging on each other. She kissing all on him, he kissing all on her. He say, "Girl, you gorgeous," and she say, "Thank you." And they say, "This so crazy, huh?" And now they just kissing in each other. And he say she's very gorgeous. It's their first time meeting in person. There ain't nobody else around. Ain't no cameras. They just tugging each other down, trying to be modest at the same time, and just tugging each other, grabbing on the butt, touching all on her. And he say she looked beautiful in her sweats. And then she meet his friend DJ, who he brought with him, which is good. And she says she glad to meet him under them circumstances. And she hugging on him and she's cheesing hard. She cheeses so hard. Producers asked her about Rich. She like, I think her voice done changed. She saw mama and she said, "Hey, now it's dreamy and in love. I think Rich is a great person." And she said, "Thank you." And she saying the most exciting thing is being next to him and my family. She talking about anybody got lipstick, and she saying letting everybody see her as a woman now, and embracing that, embracing my family and with him. And so they asked her what was the first thing she wanted to eat. Well, his homeboy was like, "What you want to eat? Like you thought about what you want to eat? You been in there for a while. You hungry? Where you want to go eat?" And she say, "Whatever I want." She say she can eat. She say she could tell anything. And she say she just blessed to be 3 and be out there. And so they all say they're going to an Italian restaurant, which is 20 minutes down. and she gonna ride with them at the restaurant, and then she gonna ride with Rich to New Orleans, and she said that's what they gonna do. And so she want to get onto adult, meaning she want to jump on Rich Bones. She want to ride him like the horse that she has not rode in 10 years. She want to go to New Orleans, and New Orleans, and she want to go party, get her, have a little. She probably can't party too much, but have a little date with her man, dance the night away, and then jump his bones. I'm telling you. And then she flipped the prison off, and then she said she need to learn how to drive. She want to drive, get her car, and she never paid a bill. She said now that she's out, she's ready to pay a bill. She has a car waiting on her, and she want to get her car. She want to get herself together and be an adult. Now she can drive. She can make the money to start paying her own bills. She never paid a bill, and she said she never wrote a check. And she said she'll see him at the restaurant, and she loves. She said Rich is the man of her dreams, and she want to see what the future holds because she could change. He could change his opinion. The opinion could change. She said right now he the man of her dreams, and she can't wait to truly get to know who he is inside and out. So then we go over to Kirsten's house when she talk about Brady. This one is messy in itself because he is. Let me pull up that picture. He been on rugs. I believe he got arrested for rugs, as you see. Um, her and the baby mama are friends. She's telling her children that he's gonna come home. So she tells them that she gotta tell them that Brady's coming home, and the kids are saying, "Yeah, can we see him?" And say that he'll be able to see him, but it'll be a couple of weeks. So she has a daughter named Phoenix and a son named Riot. And Riot said he wanted to see him. She said it'll be a couple of weeks after he gets out. And she said, but she has to drive up there to go get him. And Kirsten says she has no doubts that he can lead a family. He has two twin daughters, Hunter and Remington. Okay, so her daughter and his two twin daughters are an age apart. Um, and she said that he's going to be an excellent father. And the girls, her daughter and the baby mama, was kind of they showed a shout out to WeTV with the mess. So they showed a clip to where the baby mama for the twins' mom was saying, "Why hasn't he called him?" And the twins' mom say, "I just have to let her see for herself, but I'm going to tell her he is not a great father." Not great. And the girls asked why they haven't heard from their dad. So I'm ready to see how this going to entail because Kirsten say, baby, if he's not a good dad and we're married, that is a deal breaker for me. I can't do it because not only that'll let me know if we have a child how you treat them, and that'll let me know that you will sit here and abandon your children and go treat my children. I'm not having that. Everybody come over here. Everybody get a plate. And if we're sitting here going on a vacation, Kirsten is saying everybody is on the vacation. Everybody is on the vacation. Amusement park, they coming too. Ain't nobody exempt. Nobody. So, Kirsten says she believes he's going to be an excellent father. They did a clip of how Corey, which is the twins' mom, asked why he hasn't contacted them. And, Kirsten said Brady and Corey relationship was very toxic, but they were super young and they were trying to navigate having twin daughters. And, she said you're young and dumb and you're learning as you go. And so Kirsten is packing him a hoodie. And as she's doing that, her mom comes in, and she said her relationship with her mom, they're very close, and she's there for her and she helps with the kids tremendously. And so her mom said, well, what are you doing? She said, well, she's learning that Brady is getting out, so she has to get all his stuff ready, and that she's going to need help with the kids. to be watched because she's going to be taking it with her. She said growing up, her mom supported the household pretty much on her own. And she said, unfortunately, her dad struggles with drug addiction. So now I see why she's looking at Brady as I think he will do great. I think he will change because that's what he, in terms of Corey, has struggled with. And she's saying it got the best of him, and he ended up in prison, and he currently in prison in Colorado. And she said Brady is different from her dad. He has aspirations. Her dad had no goals, and Brady is very emotional, connected to her, and her dad was hard on her and still is. She said so they are polar opposites, and she said they're not similar at all. So her mom said, "So you're dropping everything to leave?" And she said, yeah. And she said that's not gonna be cheap to drive there, eat our meals out, have to find a hotel. You're gonna have to pack them in the car because yours don't work. She said, how much is this whole entire trip gonna cost you? And she said probably $1,000, which is pretty much her entire savings. So hopefully she have enough. She said otherwise she'll sleep in her car. She gets and hope and pray that Brady gets a job and starts working. And she's saying that's all. The mamas be taking me out for a spin, honey, because they be calling it out. And she said I don't know. She said, oh my gosh, Kirsten. She said, Kirsten said her confessional, she said when Brady gets out, he has to be in Wichita at the halfway house 300 miles from home. And with him being so far away, it's kind of hard to make things, getting a job happen. And she said, but he's going to try his best. And she said, there's a lot of questions that I don't have answers to right now, but I have to do it. If I'm going to do, like, just leave him there and leave him in prison till he figure out how to get home. And Kirsten mama said he got a mama. He has a mother that can do that. She looked at mom like he has a mama. So what you supposed to do? You don't have it. The mama can go do it. That's a child. Oh, she's a hoot. And Kirsten says she has a life too. And she has responsibilities because she's raising a family by herself. When she was talking about her, and she said, but I have to get him home to the point I'm not raising a family by myself. And her mom saying, do you really think it's worth it? And she said, do you think it's not worth it? She said, I don't know. She said, well, I mean, I hope you don't think you judge him before knowing him. And because we all have a past. And she said, yeah, well, you're my daughter and those are my grandbabies. And Kirsten say, do you think I have somebody around my kids that aren't good for my kids? And the mama say, I didn't think that you would marry someone in prison. And she said, well, I could do that. She said, huh? And she said, well, what's done is done. And you guys are all looking at the negative things, but Brady's not a punk. He's not a maggot. He's not institutionalized. Brady has no desire to have a criminal life. Ma'am, I understand that it's your man. I understand that it's your husband. And I understand you defending your husband, right? Corey told you. The friend, I think Corey's friend or sister told you. The friend, your friend told you, because y'all all friends. The mama is telling you. I want to know what his mama got to say. Everybody is telling you about this man. Oh, but he's not a bad guy. He's all right. He's not gonna do that. Everybody is telling you what this man is doing. Some of the women are telling you how he is. Even the twins are saying, I don't talk to my daddy. And you sitting up here, well, he's not gonna do that with me. That is a woman's number one mistake. When he ain't gonna do that with me, girl, you don't know what the hell he gonna come home and do. You don't know what he's going to do. This person is an addict. This girl, Corey, said that he was there when they were giving birth on cloud 85. And you're sitting here defending that, and she is telling you what she went through. She said her birth with the twins were traumatic with him and my mother because he was high. They're telling you, girl, you married a. Oh, my Lord Jesus. And you see the rug he does. I ain't got to say a damn thing. That's self explanatory in itself. How long he was in prison did he really get the help? Because we know he took. Okay. So she wants to live a soft life. He wants her to live a soft life. He wants her to take care. He wants to take care of her and the kids and go to work part time and possible. And she said that's great. I hope that does work out that way. And she said she does. She do. You know, she does believe in him. And the mama just sitting here just looking at her like, oh, okay. I'm glad y'all have a plan. That's okay, girl. Yeah, yeah. And she say it's hard doing everything alone, and her mama say she know, and she say she worked two jobs. She take care of individuals in their home, independent support of the living, and then she also bartend. So she's a home aide. She works as she do home nursing where she could travel around. You could take that as well, and you do that as well, and then she bartend. And she say a soft life for her is to not to struggle for the bills to be paid and not have to wonder if she's going to have to go without the internet this month or in order to pay the lights. And she say that's the situation she been in. And her mom says, she don't want to see her get hurt again. She said you have to haven't spent a minute outside of the prison walls. Like this is your first time. You haven't had anything in a long time with him when since y'all been together. So that's concerning to her. And she says she get that. And her mom says she wants her to be aware of what can go wrong. And this girl comes out her mouth. Her mama telling her to be aware of what's going on. Kirsten goes, I can't wait to have a baby with Brady. You have had, I don't want to hear next season or into this season things go wrong because you have had a firsthand experience of what Corey went through. You just met this man and married him in prison. Corey said that you won't know him till you live with him. And I can tell you how he is because I lived with him. She also stated he got to be clean before he come around to my kids. And that's exactly what Corey said. Kirsten, I don't know if you're a little rebellious, but I get that. Everybody is telling you, girl. Y'all gotta stop. Well, I'm gonna find out. Sometimes finding out can get you fucked up. And you know what? Sometimes people gotta find out to understand and experience that experience because if they don't, they'll never know what that hurt was like. That hurt. So I hope she ready for it. And her mom said, she want her to be aware and want to go wrong. And Kirsten said she can't wait to have a baby. And she would like to take the time off to have a husband that can provide. And her mom said, you never been on a date. You never been alone for 20 minutes with this man. She hasn't. Then we go to Brady. He said that the last 2 years that Kirsten has spent $2,500 to $3,000, $2,500 to $3,000 on him since they've been together the last 2 years. You got the math? Okay, great. It's dark as hell. Hold on. I ain't never seen it like that. Alarm. Let me look at the sky. Because it's pitch black dark. We don't get that dark. Oh, it's been a storm. Is it pebble? No. Okay. Well, we finna have a storm, honey. It's all right. I know it ain't 8 o'clock. It's about to storm. I had to check y'all because y'all would have heard the sirens for the tornado. So I had to double check. I think this is our last rain of the week. Woohoo! Anywho, he say that she spent $2,500, $3,000, if not more, and whatever I need, He said whatever he needs, Kirsten makes it happen. He say after release, he would love to have a real wedding and get married on the beach, on and go on a cruise. And she say it's crazy, but she does crazy things. And the mom say, "Yeah, I know. We all know that." And then we go over to Zay. Hold on. I'm gonna let somebody out in a minute. Which one is that? Here we go. Zay and Carrington, right? So we gonna get into Zay as girlfriend. Hold on. Hold on. Zay's sister talking to the ex-girlfriend. So Carrington is at her stepdad's house. He tell her he love her. She say she love him, and she say she'll talk to him soon and hang up the phone. And her sister Carly say, "Why do you want to put yourself through this?" And Carrington saying, in relationships you have trials and tribulations. And she say it's up to you if you want to stay in it and fight for it. And she say she really hopes she not looking stupid. And I think her name is Kaylee or Carly. I think it's Kaylee. She say, "Well, this relationship you chose to stay with him, you chose to keep him. So congratulations, right?" Child, she say deal with it. You chose him. So we go to Zay's sister house, right? So Zay's sister is talking to the ex-girlfriend, messy as hell, McKenna. And the sister, his sister asks the ex-girlfriend, do she think that she asked the sister, his other sister, does Carrington has his best interest? Carly says absolutely not. So she go get the door, and it's the ex-girlfriend, McKenna. And this is something we gotta talk about. The ex-girlfriend is white, but you don't got your trust in, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't got to trust in Carrington because your brother never dated a white girl. We talked about this, sis, and I think we've had a conversation about these type of relationships. So she give her a hug, honey. Everybody is there. They're coming in. And McKenna says she's a lover for life. Says they've been together since 2017 and that's it. But it says she's the ex-girlfriend. So how you the lover for life? So she thinking, oh, I'm out. Child doesn't sound like somebody else anyway. So they taking shots and having fun and talking. And she talking about what's the date. And they saying they hoping next week and they playing a waiting game. And she say she been playing the waiting game. So she trying to get Zay back. And they thinking it's funny. And oh my God, man. Yeah, girl. Oh my God. Girl, please. If he broke up with her, because he did 7.5 years, and she talking about she waiting, but they not together. Girl, you have no chance. Girl, you have no chance. You ain't even sit there and do the whole time with him. What make y'all think he finna slide back with her? She didn't even know when this man get released. She didn't even know he went to parole. Why is she there? Oh, hell no. If y'all... Mm-mm. And so she say before he went, the sister say before he went to jail, he was with McKenna. And they had a very tight relationship. They were best friends before anything. And she says she really don't care for no female, but if it's going to be any female, she choose McKenna. And that's because she showed her loyalty over and over. Oh, these sisters like some kiss asses. I said it. Y'all like kiss asses. Excuse my French. If she showed loyalty, why she did not know this man was going to parole in his due date? Y'all like kiss asses. And they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. They are some kiss asses. What loyalty? And so, she said she been keeping up with him the whole time. She been linking up, sending him some money, and say he's actually been doing real good. So they only like McKenna, the ex girlfriend, because she gives money. They don't care for her. And they say he met this. So they tell her about Carrington. Say he met this girl named Carrington. They've been talking, and then she said, "Do she know what jail talk is?" And she said, "Clearly not." And she said she had one message for the girl. It's gonna have to be F her, and she gonna see about her, and that's her man. And then the sister said when she heard the conversation between him and her, she was like, "Yeah, you're so sweet. I just want to fall in your arms, and I know you're taller than me, and you're bigger than me, and I want to rub your head." These are some mean girls. McKenna must got some connect or got some money for them or something. They don't need McKenna for anything. They got their own motion. You can tell they got themselves together. Child. And McKenna said when Zay come home, the girl is wifey status. I'm telling you, this girl finna be so embarrassed. I think Zay is gonna be with Carrington because he said he loves Carrington. She has a secret that she ain't tell. He got one obviously, but he said he really likes her. He said that the conversations are really great because they can have a conversation. He said it feels good. So I just hope they know that girl finna be embarrassed. And that girl got sisters too. And she got Zay. So McKenna shows Zay name on her body. And she talking about that's her, that's his. And so somebody in the comments, I should have put it up here. I didn't think about it. Someone in the comments, somebody in the comments said, Carrington run and let Miss Ed and Mr. Ed and the Dusty Sisters have their prized possession. Cause this ain't it. Carrington, do yourself a favor and get out now. His sisters are rolling with the ex no matter what. Methany said that that's her Negro child. Yeah, she said that's her Negro. She white. That's what they said. That's her Negro. And she said he gonna be with her, and she gonna drive home very sad because she gonna be there. So then we go to Felicia, back to Felicia and Rich. So they finally made it to the restaurant, and they say it smells good. And she said, "Don't be funny when I say what I want to say." And when she said she wanted salad, she said vegetables because she didn't get to eat it in prison. And she said in jail, you're not getting anything green but money on your books, and that's it. She said you don't get no vegetables, no fruit, no protein, no milk. She said that's it. And so they're looking at the restaurant, and the mom asked what was the plans with them too. In life, she said you and Rich. He said, huh? She said, that's my concern. He said, is that the talking? She said, yeah. They say they're a little interested in their daughter's future. And she said, that's just how they are. And they looking at Rich to answer, and he looking at Felicia, and he say, well, good things. He say, I don't know. It's just plans. He say that they gonna figure it out, but there's a lot in store that they can, put together. And the dad asked, how long have y'all actually been talking? And they looked at each other. He looked at her for answer. She ain't saying nothing. She just sitting there. And she said it's been a while. And he said he was married at first. He said he got divorced. He say since his divorce. And DJ say, what? He say, how I found out about my friend married. Everybody knew when he first came on. He said he was married. It did not work out. And when he got a divorce, he was hurt. Like it broke him. And he was hurt about it. And his friend didn't even know he got a divorce and he was married. So they laughed and everybody just sitting here looking. And she said, hold on, what part is you and why are we lying? If it's new, then why is it new to you? So Felicia looking like, why you ain't tell your friend? Because I knew that he was divorced. Hey, Lisa. How you didn't know he was divorced? So she said she going to the restroom. So she get up to go to the bathroom. He asked if she cool. She said yeah. And then her cousin said she gonna go with her. And so they're looking weird. She said, so did you just catch that? Like, was he not married? Was he divorced? Did he not get a divorce? What did you mean by that? Because I caught it. And she said, yeah, I think you need to ask. But Felicia, he just said it. He been talking to her since he was divorced. He said that. He's still married? No. What? Rich, you need your motherfucking ass beat. Don't make me drive to Houston and smack you. Because we sitting here taking up for you. I will come down there and pop you upside your damn head. I know you lying. And then he said he gonna keep asking. They gonna let him keep asking him questions. And she say everything she pick up, she gonna ask about it. And she said they gonna talk because they got to talk. And she said she gonna talk to her cousin. And she said DJ didn't know that Rich was married. It's a whole thing of trying to figure it out. I think Rich was married before he met DJ. And I think he got a divorce when they met. That's probably why. And he was already divorced. Because Rich was like, DJ was like, I ain't even know that. Yeah, he didn't. When he talked about the divorce, if y'all remember when he talked about him not picking sides, I'm being honest, Rich was balling. I don't know what happened. What did she do? He's saying that really hurt me. Like that broke me. He don't talk about it. So they're trying to figure out when this happened. And she said she don't, the cousin said she don't know if he'll ever say anything. That's a big secret. The first night she met him that he was hiding. And he said he's, looking to do anything. And they say it's no reason you should be keeping secrets from you in jail that you know everything about. And you mean us? No, because she goofy too. Hold on. Y'all can't sit there and do that. Because Felicia didn't tell him, and y'all sure didn't tell him, because I'm going to call everybody out. That's what I do over here. Y'all didn't motherfucking tell Rich anything about that man that she was dating and the guy she was with when she got locked up. Felicia told her damn self that she still talked to him. He still loved her. He has told her he still loved her. And she said she don't know where her and Rich gonna go. Did she not? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, well, y'all thought we didn't caught that. That's why everybody was like, they both goofy. Hell, this finna be a shit show. Everybody said it. We caught that. Oh, we caught that. We caught that. If she can do what she want to do, y'all, nah, baby, call her out too. So he's talking about you know everything about her meeting us. Y'all don't know that she got her ex still roaming around every time. And she said, so what you been up to? She said a lot. So then we gonna go to Benita, Gigi, and Mumu. Like y'all, okay, they can't be mad because she said that doing love during lockup. She was like, yeah, she said it, and we talked about it. And I said, wait a minute, what? So you not gonna nip that in the bud? We all talked about it. Everybody that covered the show. So Benita said, she's starting to feel the negative talk of like, what's going to happen? Was it jail talk? Is he really meaning what he's saying? She don't know. She say the thing that's scary this time, 100% she feel like they're going to be good. And she has no doubt. And she said, does that strike her as weird? Hell yeah. She said it strikes her as weird. And she feel like she conditioned by the mind because why is it weird for somebody to do everything? Because your intuition, Benita, is telling you exactly what you're finna find out. He's been talking to this girl since he been in there. He's been talking to this girl since he got locked up, and he's been with you. They tried to make Benita look like an ex, but she not an ex. He's been talking to her the whole damn time. He's been talking to Gigi. So yeah, her feelings are correct. And she said she don't want to condition her mindset to think a different way to pull herself. She say, they're going into a positive direction, and then Goddess is making signs. Moo Moo, welcome home. Moo Moo free what? Free something. So she done made a poster for Moo Moo. She got her outfit on. It's the official day for Demond to get out. And she say, I love you, daddy, at the end. And she say her loves is all over the place. She got butterflies. And she say she want a different kind of life. She say she tired of being a strong female. She say she don't mind being pushed and putting things together, hanging pictures on the wall and mounting TVs. I just don't know what y'all think y'all gonna get from a man that's been confined and been held up in the cell. Y'all have to give him about a year or two to fully reconstruct his mind to certain things. Yeah, he gonna hang up some TVs and stuff, but y'all thinking these men gonna get out, I'm gonna get me a bag. It don't work like that. Okay, it takes a minute. It's not something that just change overnight. I'm just saying, because they got so many expectations. Everyone has expectations, right? So she says she don't, mountain TVs, and she want to be pretty in her robe, her hair, and her lip gloss, and cooking, and champagne, and that's the type of life she wants to live. Well, you need not to get somebody that's been confined. You gonna have to, you gonna have to get somebody that's about that. Okay. And then she say, she's gonna go. So she say she gonna go to the market and get some macaroni and cheese. So they having lamb chops and macaroni and cheese. And she say Mumu wants her to make lamb chops, baked macaroni and cheese, broccoli, buttermilk biscuits, and shrimp. And she's going to make that. And she say that's hella food. And she's really cooking this. And he say he's so excited that he got anxiety because he coming home to the unknown. Like he's finally get back to his kids, and be the dad that he want to be. He said he got to make sure he ain't in a doghouse. He said he loved the love of Gigi, and Bonita give. And he said he got to keep both women separate. And it's going to be a lot that he got to figure out. And Gigi is looking in the mirror, saying her affirmations, and she's saying she's a bad bitch. And she look good for her man, honey. And she look good for her. And, she say she nervous. And she say he think she the most beautiful thing walking. So, she don't understand why she's so nervous. Her friend say you do look good. And say her butt poking in the sweats. And she's shaking her butt, in front of her friend, and he called. And he say, what you doing? You gonna get mad as ish. He say, you left yet? She say she about to. He said they talk about he not gonna be out in the city until after 3. And she said, okay. And say they're not gonna get me from the other side of Baltimore till 3 o'clock. And then she said he ain't gonna lie, he heated, he been up all night, he ain't even sleep. And he just wanna let her know what's going on. And then she said she gonna eat. She said, I love you. She said, all right, you still gonna be home? He said, yeah, for real. So we go to the other side of town. No, it's time to go him to go pick up I'm reading my shit. It's time for Gigi to go pick up Moo. And she say she nervous. And, on that type of time, she get to kiss him and hug him, and she ain't never do anything like that. She say she barely talked to that man. She ain't talk to him, when he get his hair done or whatever, and that's it. So she say this is new to her, and somebody that's been in her space, and she say she haven't had nobody in her space in 3 years, and it's only been her and her children. So, and she referred to her dog. She got, I think, 2 kids. She referred to her dogs and her children. So she on the road, child. So she got her friend car on the road, and then she get a phone call from her mom, and she say, you know what time it is? And she say, why are you leaving so late? She say she on her way now, and she say you already left the house. She say she already in the car. She about to sign and everything. She gonna call her back. She said, "You gonna keep me posted?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm gonna keep you posted." So it's 4 o'clock, and she get to the Maryland registration. And guess who walks out? Moo. And guess who waiting? He said he looking for his wife. He said, "Where she at?" She ain't got there yet. Uh-oh. He said he trying to see her. And he said he happy he back out, he free, he feel the fresh air for real. He said he just went through hell and back to get down there. He was waiting so long. And he said he trying to go. He said he been up for 3 days. He waiting on Gigi. And he said he feel like it's a dream, like he's still dreaming for real. Like, is he really out? He said Gigi can't see, he don't see everything that's in that bag. He got 1,000 pictures of Bonita in that bag. And he got 500 pictures of Gigi in his bag. Oh, so he holding that bag like he holding a bag of money. He said right now he what you call fresh meat. He said Gigi, he gonna give her a chance first. And he said if she don't hurry up, you ain't gonna tell him who he might call. Did she make it? He said she need to hurry up. So it's 4:15. And she finally pulled up. She said she about to find out what it's like being with him. And she finally pulls up, y'all. Let me see what happened. Hold on. All right, we got a couple more people. We got a couple more people. Well, let's go back to Carrington and Zay. Oh shit! So Carrington says she cannot believe in 1 week Zay get out of prison, and makes her 100% nervous to tell him that she has not mentioned or told the whole truth about. So she is not conning Zay, but she's holding information from him, and she gets a call from she was on the phone with her friend, and he said you look good. He said, you always turning heads or whatever. So she FaceTime her friend London. So he say, she said, what's up with you? He said he watching TV right now. And then she said he needs to be hanging out with her. And she started blushing. So I'm kind of like, is that her ex-boyfriend? So London is a nice, handsome gentleman that she says that she met 2 years ago on a dating site. Hold the front door. Hold the front door. Hold the front door. She met this man 2 years ago, but he got they don't know because he got secrets and she got secrets. And she said they realized that it was a platonic friendship. They talk a lot. They call every other day. They sit on the phone all the time. And she said she never met London in person either. And, they're talking about everything. And, he's telling her about his business stuff, how I was ups and down. And, then he's taking it one day at a time. She said with London, it's not intent that she haven't seen him. She said every time she plans something, he's busy on the road driving. He's a truck driver. And when it never works out for them to see each other. So she said, he asked her how's like going to school. And she saying, and, she's still talking to Zay. And he's saying how was their relationship and saying that the sisters are weird. She say the sisters are weird and they don't like her. She say they don't text her, they don't respond to her text, and she say it's effing weird. And he say it's hard for them not to love you, so that's that don't make sense. He say you're bubbly, you're sweet, and they must take their own life that they don't love you. And she say that Zay is this jealous type, and he wouldn't want her to talk to any other man, and she feels a little guilty because he's never entertained another woman, so she think. We gonna see. So she say this is, hard for her to feel love and appreciate it when you don't have your partner around, especially when they're in prison. She say because they have to communicate through his sister Carly. So it's a waiting game around the phone because they don't want to answer one of them. And they said that, he said he's respectful to her relationship, but he want her for himself. But he said he'll respect. He said he been wanting her for himself. So why would it change? So London was like, I've been wanted you. he was like, you, regardless of how it is, you still my boo, you still my baby. Like, okay, I'm gonna be respectful to your relationship, but I still want you. And she might take that plunge. He said they known each other for a long time, and she say, he just gets her, but she loves Zay. He say, you better stop before Zay get in trouble. He come home to nothing. That man say, you better stay out of trouble and get right with me, because if he mess up, basically he can come home to nothing. He can be right with whoever, because I'll be saying it right here. I'm not mad at Carrington talking to somebody else. The reason I'm not, because I feel like, to me, Zay, we don't know what Zay doing, and the way that they are fondling over this, the sisters are fondling over that girl. Child, please, like, let's be for real. And so she hang up with London, say they'll talk to each other later and stuff. And she was like, "Oh my goodness, that man say Zay'll get home to nothing. It's crazy work," and she wouldn't say that. So I mean, that's who she talking to. I don't blame her. So let's go to Kirsten. I don't blame her, and I'm glad they showed that, because for the ex girlfriend to think she still has a place and she a placeholder, and you don't got him tattooed, and now he with somebody, now you want to be there and all this and that, girl. Anywho, so Kirsten is driving to go see Brady. I'm ready to get back to Moo and Gigi and Benita. But anyway, kids, and she's going to go get her husband, and she feel like it's going to be a entire weight lifted off her shoulders, and the time crunch sucks because she's working with 9 hours to get him from the prison to the halfway house, and she has to make sure she needs to do what they have to do at the hotel and have their little adult time, and then she can drop him off to the halfway house. Now, a lot of people feel for herself, and I agree. She say she thinks she's hoping that everything go good without a hitch. And she say him going to Wichita, that sucks, because that's not the original plan. The plan was for him to be in Springfield, Missouri, which is much closer to home, where she can spend a lot of time with him. But in the meantime, she really want to get down and dirty with her husband. That's important to the both of them. That's what they've been looking for the whole time they've been married. And her and Brady have had their moments over the phone, and he's gonna do what he say he gonna do. It'll be great, and she can't wait. So 7 hours later, she's been on the road all day. And when she get to the hotel, she has to get everything ready. She has to get all the balloons blown up, make the rose petals, and they won't be using any protection. She's not on any birth control. She didn't bring any protection. You don't know this man. You don't know this man. You don't know this damn man. Girl, y'all crazy as hell. In this economy, I'm not talking about no babies with somebody that just got fresh out. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's cute. Yeah. Yeah. I'm supposed to be trapped down a scoundrel while you figure out your life and do what you want to do? No. Hell no. So, she said they're not going to use any protection. She's not on birth control. She didn't bring any rubbers, and there's a chance that she can get pregnant tomorrow. She has to wait a couple more hours and she'll have them. She'll have the baby. So Brady calls and she answers and she says, "Hi, baby." He say, "Hey, honey, what are you doing?" She's saying nothing. She's on her way to go see him. And she's super excited to see him. He said he's excited too, but he got bad news, so don't be mad. And she said, "What do you mean?" And they he say he getting out, but the halfway house won't be open. He want him there before at 4 o'clock instead of 6:30. They're not gonna he said they don't think they're gonna have time to go to the hotel. That was God. That was God. That was God. They want him there at 4:30 instead of 6. So she say, how does that make any sense? Whenever you're supposed to be leaving the prison at 8 a.m. and it's a 9-hour drive. He say they don't know. He say they just do what they tell them to. She say feel like he better off taking a bus. It is feel like it's a wasted trip because she's not going to get any time. He say, let me finish. She said, that's not quality time. He said, he going to see what he can do. He going to talk to him. And she says she love him. And he says, bye. He didn't say, I love you. But you don't give a damn that's a 9-hour drive. It's probably not a 9-hour drive, but she want to make it 9 hours so they can do the hanky tanky panky. Exactly. So she's driving upset. She says she gonna be effing pissed if she don't get no time with her husband. She's been waiting for 2 years, and if it don't happen, she's gonna be effing angry. And she says she's so over it, and she's overwhelmed. She's over it, and she want everything to be over with. And she just want time with her husband. And that's the last thing she need is that effing stress in her life. So she's sitting parked and she's going to the hotel, and now she's screaming. And she said, am I getting tired with my husband tomorrow? If y'all don't, you're going to see an effing demon. So it sounds like to me, she's the type of woman that like to make herself happy. Whatever makes her smile, she moves. Very heartbreaking for her kids. I feel like I personally feel like Kirsten feels like the moral moves around him and whatever she wants. And I'm starting to see that. And I see what her mom was discussing. So let's go back to Rich and Felicia, okay? Then we go back to Benita and Gigi and Moo. I want to do they be live, but we'll see. So Felicia family started questioning Rich, and Felicia says she's going to go get out her jail clothes, and she asked what they want to get her shoes and stuff, and her mom said she had something for them. She got her phone, an iPhone, and Rich said he didn't bring her anything for her release, and she's going to go change. He said he don't want to be caught up, in bringing certain gifts because that it's a genuine connection. And he say his presence is his present. But I guess, child, yeah, we know this ain't gonna work. So she changed into a different shirt. And Felicia said she was expecting Rich to have something for her. And she went and ordered some wine, and she finally got her ID. And she said that he got to know not to come with nothing because it's like going to somebody's wedding without a gift. And she looking like, why you ain't bring nothing? So she get her wine, and she say, I'm sorry. And she say, you'll see some stuff if you don't trust it. So now she drinking her red wine, and she say it's no worse than a hooch that she had in jail. And so talking about the feds white lightning. And so she telling her experience and whatever. Her mom said it's crazy. And then everybody just sitting there being quiet and looking. And then the cousin, and then, she tells Rich, you want to ask me anything? He say, And then the cousin say Rich is respectful to the family, but he holds back. And she knows that her family and Felicia family will sniff it out in a second. And she say he can tell the auntie say you can tell he's not being himself. He looks phony. He just met y'all. He don't know y'all. He don't know what to say to y'all. He just met y'all. He filling it out with y'all. He like, yeah, I don't know. I want to get a feel. I don't want to say the wrong shit. Let the man not say the wrong shit. Then when he say something, oh, I don't know, I don't understand, I don't know. But he could have brought something, which I don't know why he didn't. But could have said something. Like, and it's crazy, lady. You an Italian lady with dreads, but he looks fake to you. Let me stop. I gotta stop. Okay. So Felicia says she want to thank everybody for coming to supporting her. And it's a lot for her coming home after doing all that time, but she knows for a bigger purpose, and she love everybody for supporting her, and she appreciate them. And she said, "Thank you, baby, for coming in and being supportive of me through this, because I know it's a lot for you too." And everybody started laughing, and they saying cheers and everything. And now the family is questioning. She said her first impression of Rich was not what she expected. And she gave her mom and dad a kiss. She said he looks like the same person, but he's like him. Like, are you getting cold feet? Is it getting too real? No, girl. I don't think it's getting. I think he wanted to be modest in front of your family, but I don't think he gonna be modest later. I'm just being honest. So she think he's getting too real. It's getting too real for him. Is he getting cold feet with being with her? And so then they hit the road. As they on the road, she's sitting in the car just looking. He's not saying anything, and it's like, what the hell? And she don't want him to be quiet like a bump on the log. She say, don't do that. And he say, on to the next chapter. And she don't say nothing. She got her hands folded up, said child just looking out the window. So we gonna go back to Benita, Gigi, and Moo. So he say, I hope she don't ride past. So she finally pulls up, y'all. And she arguing at everybody to go so she can make a turn just to stop and get out the car and run to Moo. She don't let the girl car door open and shit. Talking about she miss him. She don't jump in his arms. I want to see what him and Benita gonna be. And she saying she saw him bringing in. Yes, they're still strangers. And now she kissing on Moo. So happy to see him, child. He holding her and she jump into his arms like it's going with the wind. Fabulous, honey. And she say, I'm here. He said he been incarcerated for 3 years for possession of a firearm. And saying they miss each other, they hold it on tight. He said his 3 years on the earth. His 30 years on earth. He didn't expect 30. He didn't expect 9 and 10 years of his life in prison. He said that ends today. Like, that's done. That's over with. And she said she like I love you too. He said I can smell the fresh air and actually breathe. And then he tell her she smelled like cotton candy. And then he said when he was younger, he got in trouble because he wanted to be in the streets. He came up, they was eating syrup sandwiches, drinking sugar water, and say money don't grow on trees. And he had to go and make it happen. And he said, but after, they got too much time out of him. And he good on that. Like, he got don't puke on tatted on his hands. So when he put his hands up, you see don't puke on his hands. He said he done, he don't want no problems. And so he said he ain't seeing her, Gigi from behind no glass no more. So now he grabbing her on her butt. And then he's saying in confessional he blessed because Gigi helped him get through everything. She like his best friend. And he talking about your body's so soft. And he already feeling her. He like, man. He talking about he almost went crazy. He was like, man, he don't know how to compose himself. So, and then he tells her he gonna F the ish out of her. And she talking about she ready for him right here. Don't be like, who their name is, they still together. Cause she moved to Florida to be with her little short man. but she had relations with him in the parking lot when he first got out. Y'all remember that? So now she talking about taking him home, and he finally home, child. And they talking about they finna make a movie, and she talking about yeah, and they gonna do a whole lot of knocking the boots. I hope he got enough energy, cause Benita been holding in too. I hope you got enough. Mumu, you gonna be tired. You ain't tired. You ain't feel like you was about to meet your makers. All of that was a lot, wasn't it? You don't bam, 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 wham, tam that night. The next day, you bam, wham, bam, wham. Benita, and Benita ain't had none either. And she freaky too, along with G. What the hell? Child. So now they talking about knocking the boots, child. They standing out there, producers asking what they got planned, talking about knocking the boots. She talking about she feel like she can be there for the rest of her life. And Mumu say they gonna be together for the rest of their life. And that did not age well because I think they broken up. The way she talking like, child, I ain't praying for him. He not finna have me sit down. That's how she talking like, girl, like he can do what he want to do and I sit down. Like, I mean, we together, but we ain't a dummy. So I think that's what's going on with that. And her and Benita been outside individually. They've been hanging out, going out, having a good summer, all types of shit. So I don't know, y'all. We're going to have to see how this play out. Benita been hanging out. She been outside. It's hot outside. She outside having fun. You got Gigi outside having fun. I don't know, y'all. And he said he ain't going nowhere, she ain't going nowhere, and it's nothing but love, honey. It's nothing but love. So she gave him a hug, honey. He said he's in love with Gigi. He's in love with the person that she is, and he's excited to spend time with her and get his rocks off. At least he was honest, and hopefully get her rocks off, and then he gonna go ahead and start mentally preparing for his release all over again with Bonita tomorrow. Lord Jesus be the fence. She said you need that. So he see the bag. He said he think he's smart enough to pull it off. He just gotta stay 10 steps ahead. And we gotta wait till next week for this. He said he gotta stay 10 steps ahead from Benita and Gigi. He said you ain't gotta worry about what's in it. He said you gotta say 20 steps ahead. He said, what the hell? I don't know how this gonna play off. I'm excited for next week. So I thought we were going on to the end. So we're going to the last part where they added Trent and Cammy. So we're gonna get into Trent and Cammy, and then we're gonna get on out of here. I know it was a lot. I'm gonna try to see if I can separate everything. So Trent and Cammy family come, and they decide to talk to their family, their kids, about Nita. So the kids say when they first met Nita, they didn't know what to think. They assumed a lot about her. They felt, off until she got to know her. And, they're talking to the kids, they're having dinner. And all the kids had started their new jobs. And they have a son named Teo, 32. He has a wife, Hannah, that's 30. She has Zoe, that's 21. They said they wasn't close to her, and they have a great appreciation. Hold on, no, wait. Hold on, I'm missing a child. Zoe's 21. What is their daughter name? They have a daughter that's 27, and they also had the child that they lost. So they had two boys, three girls, and they're all kind of old in age. I think the son that passed away would have been was the oldest, if I'm not mistaken. He was the oldest, or between one that's 27 and a 30-year-old, 32-year-old that's married. But I think he was the oldest. Um, Teo say when he met Nita at the start. It was they were not happy. They weren't close with Nita like that, but they all have a great appreciation for each other. Um, them coming out as a throuple as was good news, and they said they wanted to talk to them about it, and you know what it's like to have a poly relationship, to be a three-way. And the announcement is they asked, has the announcement has affected them that Nita is engaged to them. And Tio said that for him, he didn't. It really didn't make a difference. And the girls say it's been relieving. They've been a throuple for a while, and having a safeguard and calling Nita your friend and stuff. A roommate, and now they're living together. It's different now. And Cammy saying she feel like it's really helped to give more freedom and get through the BS, and not worry about who would see them, and things like that. So she say that's been part of it. And Cammy say they chose to come out as a throuple, and they're their children. The children didn't choose that, so it's very amazing for their support. For them to have that type of situation. When I don't think they care because they grown, but we really don't. I mean, as long as everybody good. And Trent said one thing that's really silence was the silence for the close people to them. And Cammy said they didn't give nothing. They didn't say anything. They say it's like they dropped off the face of the present planet. They say curious would be great, but judgmental would be that's a different story. And the youngest daughter said a few years ago we probably wouldn't all be sitting here so comfortably, eating food and talking and having a conversation. Need to say we definitely would not. And they say the kids, was most religious because they've been a religious family connected to the church. It's been a process. They told the entire story from the very beginning to the present. So that was helpful for them because now they understand, and their parents wasn't holding back what's really going on. So Trent say you don't have no idea how special it's been for y'all. You know, Nita is crying. She gets emotional. She say, the kids say it's your love for us that you give us. You love us like we're your children. You have that love for us as well. She doesn't mistreat them any kind of way. And that's what's important to them as well. And so they want to return that love because she's always giving to them love and full acceptance and encouragement to be who they are, you know. And their son said he don't remember a time when he didn't have neither one of their support in anything. And they say that Nita has been so kind to the process, and loving and everything. So Nita tell Cammy she's a good mom. And they say that the three of them been communicating and having commitment ceremony, and they would love to have friends and family that support them be there for their commitment ceremony. And they say they want it not for the short term but for the long term. And they decided that they want to have a commitment ceremony, and they want to reflect, all three of them. And they say that you can say a lot of things you can say no to. No to. They want their son to officiate the service, and he said he definitely will, officiate the wedding. And his parents officiated their wedding, so he say he wants to return the favor. You know, and he's saying you got them for that. So they're gonna get it officiated. I got a question. Why the hell they got braids in their head? Now her braids ain't unraveled. I got questions. Cause she came on there. I guess she had her real hair braided with the curl. I guess they went and got their hair braided. Is Nita? I don't know. I'm questioning this shit, WeTV. Why they got braids in their head? I need to go look up their background. I know they from California. No, it's a hippie thing. But they braids ain't unraveling or nothing. And Nita hair look like it has a texture. I don't know. I'm confused. So they glad that their son said yes, and they said that they love Nita, and she said thanks, and she said she made her feel like she found her sister family, and she didn't even know it and what it looked like, and it was hard for her, because she didn't know what it looked like. Like I said, she grew up with a family that were addicts. She didn't know that, and she said she guess that's what family's supposed to be like. So they're happy. And they said that Nita had trauma before she lived with them, and it mean the world to her that she came from dirt poor, rough neighborhood, rough upbringing and everything. So they say you come in this world alone and you die alone, and she don't feel any type of way now that she has that love. So that's what's the end of that. Everybody talking about Nita them on different shows. Well, no, I think they just threw them in. They have a lot of people this season, and they're just throwing people in. So I think that's what happened. But all right, y'all, I am done. I'm finna see where the gang at. We can go live in a couple of hours. We'll let y'all know if we be scheduling. We're gonna continue to live or what the tea is. We got a lot to talk about, including a clench booty cheek. Clench that cheek. Clench that cheek. Clench that cheek. I want to thank y'all for watching these 2 hours. We're gonna try to do better next time. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh, I ain't even